But just take a look at this.
Bobcat the Bubs is back in action.
And I am now talking about it after 1 month of the release of the trailer, directly at the time when nobody else cares about the game. Cause Crash Insane Trilogy got released. What time would be better to talk about Bubsy than right now? And hey, there is apparently an official fan page now, so there is that at least. Gives me enough of a reason to talk about this bloody little furry gob ball who is known as Bubsy. Yeah, Bubsy is this guy. And a lot of people really hate him.
I don't hate him. In fact, I like Bubsy. Strangely enough.
I mean, yes, he's a selfish arsehole, but why should this make me hate him? As much as some people do. I always saw the hate for him as over-exaggerating, as he's actually supposed to be a bastard. Take Ratchet from Ratchet & Clank as an example. Ratchet was always kind of cocky attitude throughout the Ratchet & Clank series.
If they ever get the kinks worked out of that thing, I have got to get me one of those.
If they are working for Chairman Drek, they may know where he is.
Is that all you can think about? Drek this, Drek that? I got my own problems.
If you cannot see the importance of this situation, you do have problems.
Yeah? Well, if you're so smart, how come you fell for Quark's stupid trick?
But developed a friendlier personality since All for One. I know Bubsy has the bonus that he's incredibly optimistic about himself all the time.
Barry, you're so optimistic.
But to be honest, that is his character, and if people don't like a cocky attituded main character in games, then why do people love Duke Nukem or Gex so much? But not Bubsy. Only because his games were a tiny bit broken and the cartoon show was a tiny bit annoying. Yes, just a tiny. No, seriously, compare this to the Battletoads cartoon and then you'll see what I mean by the Bubsy cartoon being just a tiny bit annoying. But that's not really the purpose of this video. My main goal I'm trying to achieve with this video is to make people give the new Bubsy game at least a chance. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? It can't possibly be worse than Bubsy 3D. And it surely isn't as obscure as the new Shaq Fu game that's coming to a Switch. I mean, seriously. Seriously. If you really think about it in general, Bubsy's new game doesn't feel so off at all. I mean, we got Crash back, classic Sonic, classic Resident Evil, we will get a Spider-Man reboot this year, a White Days remaster is on its way, and the DuckTales reimagining release this year. Beside those examples, nothing is weirder to me than the fact that somebody created a fidget spinner phone. A phone out of all things. Is the phone going to spin its way into your ear while you're having a phone call or something? Jeez, and people say Bubsy, Neck Remaster and Shaq Fu are some of the weirdest things of 2017. Compared to a fidget spinning phone, those 3 games seem like regular thing you would normally see each day on the sidewalk. Anyways, what I'm going to say now is not even a lie. I was genuinely happy about this announcement. The first time when I saw the trailer on YouTube. Mainly because I kind of like Bubsy, and the trailer looked really promising to me. Yeah, sure, the graphics look like early PlayStation 3, and Bubsy looks like he got run over by a truck.
Worse than a truck.
But on the other hand, it's developed by the guys who made the Giana Sisters reboot, which in my opinion was an incredibly fun game. Not only that, but Bubsy's new voice is also something I really love about this new game, as it is actually not annoying compared to the original and the god-awful horror of Bubsy 3D.
In for some surprises!
Won't you shut up? And here is another thing I noticed in the trailer. It's trying to be more original instead of being like the first 2 who tried to blatantly copy Sonic's fast-paced gameplay. No, in fact, this new game focuses more on the platforming, on planning out your jumps, your attacks, and most importantly on taking your time in a level instead of rushing it. Come to think of it, Bubsy 3D was also more slower than the first 2 games.
Oh my god!
Jokes aside, but yes, I can see all that from just one short trailer. Overall, this whole trailer shows me that the developers really care for what they are doing. Proven by not only changing the gameplay to the better, but also proven by the really good art direction. I really like the guy who does the artwork for this game. The art is done with love and incredibly detailed for a Bubsy game. But on the other hand, the art direction of Bubsy was never the biggest problem of the games. In fact, the problem always lied mainly on the gameplay aspects. But like said, Judging by the trailer and also by my experience with Gianna Sisters, I can see this game definitely turn out as a really solid, if not a surprisingly badass 2.5D platformer. Black Forest games are really experienced developers after all. Well, except for that one time when they created a sequel to Gothic 3 as Spellbound Interactive.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
But other than that, they have learned from their mistakes in the past and now create some really fun and challenging 2.5D platformers. If you see these Black Forest games, then let me tell you, macht weiter so. Last but not least, for those who don't want this game out, here is a message to you as well. Get a grip. It was mostly Sonic fans' fault anyway. I mean, they really believe that the custom character in Forces trailer is Bubsy.
I mean, seriously, I can clearly see that this is not Bubsy in the trailer.
Yet some people believed it was Bubsy and got incredibly upset about Sonic Forces because of his scheme, which looked like Bubsy to them. Some threatened even Sega that they wouldn't buy the game when they included Bubsy in it. Well, after the guy who made the whole joke about Bubsy being in Sonic Forces, which people believed by the way, he made a video stating that it was only a joke. Not even he could have believed that some people bought that joke as a serious thing. But after he released the video, people stopped believing that it was Bubsy, and they were happy about it. Accolade must have seen something big in the controversies, which is why we get Bubsy this year for PS4 and Steam. Okay, what did I want to clear out with the whole Sonic Forces thing? I just wanted to show some people who are still upset about this whole spaghetti that they should stop complaining about this.
Stop it. Get some help.
I mean, it is their fault to begin with. They practically shoveled Bubsy out of his grave and are complaining about the fact that they did it themselves. At the end, I can't wait for this new game to release on PS4, as I always wondered how Bubsy would play out as a game if it was in the hands of good developers. I just really hope that they fix the graphics, but other than that, I'm looking really forward to this.
You know what I'm looking forward to as well?
More conversations between Bubsy, Sonic, Mega Man and possibly even Crash on Twitter.
What could possibly go wrong?
Hey, Spider! What do you think of the new Bubsy game? Not in this room, Mr. Spidey, but do you have any other opinion on the Bubsy game? Good question, Mr. Spidey. This case was just too weird. This case was